Good afternoon or evening.
Good evening.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas
Buenas
tardes.
tardes.
Gracias por estar aquí.
Bienvenidos.
Gracias.
Um,
Gracias.
so just want to say thank you. Right now, you're our only parent, so we really appreciate you for that.
Gracias. Es la única padre que se mostró interés y le agradecemos.
We'll have to make sure that we give your child lots of PBIS points for you being here today.
Nos vamos a asegurar de darle muchos puntos positivos a su hijo o hija después de esta junta.
Also,
Gracias.
just as you know, this is about the Commons app. So we're going to just educate you about the Commons app so you understand what we're asking from your child.
Esta junta es para hablar sobre la aplicación nueva que se llama The Commons, para educarla a usted y poder darle un poquito más de información para que nos apoyen a descargar esta aplicación en los teléfonos de su hijo o hija.
So obviously Ms. Garcia's here and we have Julia's here from the Commons app who can help give you information as well.
Ms. García soy yo, la decana, él es el director y Julia es la coordinadora de este programa que vino aquí también a dar la presentación. Y esta presentación está grabada, va a estar disponible para todos los padres. This presentation is recorded, so it's going to be available for all the parents.
So let's get started.
So the reason why we're implementing the Commons app into our school is because we're giving an alternative option to our students. Rather than taking away their phones, locking them in their pockets, we're actually starting this Commons app and allowing them to keep their phones while downloading the app, so we don't have to take them away or find them in the hallways and trying to make sure they're storing them somewhere. So this is a great option and alternative.
And just remember, this is something that our governor has signed into. Here we got another person. Welcome. Sorry, it was signed into law at the school sites with the no technology in schools. So we're that's why we're trying to enforce this. And the goal, like as Ms. Garcia was saying, instead of what some schools are doing, where they're either taking the phones from the kids and turning them in every day, or making them put them in a special compartment. All we're asking is for them to download the app. This way they can keep the phones on their person. And that's it. The phone they can still have options to call and text if it's an emergency, but this way it just stops them from using apps like Instagram or Snapchat or some type of gaming app.
Okay, so I'm going to translate this beginning, but then I'm not going to translate the rest because we can provide the information in Spanish and I'll let the parents know as well, okay? So voy a traducir esto para que usted tenga la información, ustedes que están aquí. Después de la introducción que hace Mr. Plonka y yo, ustedes van a tener la presentación disponible en español. Lo vamos a publicar en el Parent Square para que ustedes la puedan repasar. Básicamente lo que dijimos es que hay una nueva ley en el estado de California en donde los estudiantes no pueden usar sus teléfonos en la escuela. Los estudiantes los pueden traer, pero no los pueden usar, ¿vale? Lo que están haciendo otras escuelas es que les están proveyendo unos bolsillos donde los encierran los celulares todo el día, o los ponen en un locker todo el día. Lo que nosotros estamos haciendo es una alternativa que es descargar esta aplicación en sus teléfonos que bloquea el uso del internet. Ellos todavía tienen el acceso a llamadas, a textos, más sin embargo, cuando entran dentro de la área escolar, ellos ya no pueden usar el internet. ¿Okay? Entonces, ahora Miss Julia va a hablar sobre lo que es The Commons App. Y la información no la voy a traducir para que ella pueda terminar a su tiempo y después voy a proveer la información en español para que ustedes la vean en su propio tiempo, ¿vale?
Okay.
Awesome.
Go ahead,
Awesome.
Julia.
Okay, do you want me to run through my presentation or is this more appropriate for a Q&A session at this point?
I think you can just do like a brief rundown of what it is and then we can open it up. Like maybe like a 5-minute,
Yeah, high level. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, really appreciate you both inviting me here tonight. We're excited to be partnering with such a forward-thinking school. I think you all did a great job of addressing the why earlier, and I want to reiterate a couple of those points. We designed the Commons as a modern solution to support student cell phone policies. We want to shift away from punishment-based policies like locking phones in pouches all day to one that fosters long-term behavior change and digital habit building. Locking phones up or collecting them doesn't achieve that, and it's a punishment-based system that doesn't trust students to make the right decision. So with the Commons, we're flipping the script by integrating the science of behavioral economics into our tech design. Let me just share my screen here.
So that
Sorry.
we're going to chunk so we can translate.
Yep.
My bad.
Are we good?
We're good.
We're golden.
Okay. Let me just share this. I think I didn't, oh, can you hear
Teachers
us
today
okay?
are doing a lot more than teaching, and it's costing them time,
Can't see
energy,
it.
and focus. Students lose.
Sorry about that,
Teachers
guys.
today.
1 second. I promise I've used Zoom before. One participant can share at a time. There we go. Okay, so this is how the
Teachers today are doing a lot more than teaching, and it's costing them time, energy, and focus. Students lose 1 month of class time every year due to distracting social apps, not to mention the mental health risks associated with increased screen time. Schools are struggling to find a solution that's modern, sustainable, and fair for everyone, which means educators aren't just educators anymore, they're also the phone police. But what if we could empower students to manage their technology instead of just taking it away? Meet the Commons, helping students step away from distracting social apps and step into the moment. The Commons app activates automatically at school and automatically deactivates at the end of the school day. It's the only privacy-first tech solution that blocks distracting apps in school while providing administrators valuable insights into student accountability. Let's give teachers more time to teach and students more time to be students. Curiosity, connection, and growth. Make it common with the Commons app.
All right, so that's just a little high level of what the Commons is. I'm going to give a little peek under the hood on how this was developed and why we developed it the way that we did. And it's really rooted in behavioral economics, which is all about making the right choice the easy choice. Behavioral economics is a proven field of research that shows if you provide people with the right environment and resources, they will likely do the right thing, versus if you tell them they'll be punished if they don't comply. So this science has been applied successfully in getting people to select healthier choices at grocery stores, vote on time, and even go to the bathroom more accurately in urinals at bars. And yes, there was a study done that if you paint a fly at the bottom of a urinal, less pee goes on the ground. So this is the same science I've used in many of my public health initiatives I've led in the past, including the creation of the Commons. Our goal with our app is to create a trust-based technology platform that runs quietly in the background and makes it easier for students to stay off their phones during class and engage more deeply with their teachers and peers. Every day, we're building up to a change for lifelong habits that extend beyond the walls of the school. The result of this is the Commons. It's essentially an airplane mode for schools. After hearing feedback from thousands of administrators on the pain points of sustaining a lockable pouch program, we knew there had to be a more seamless way to reduce student cell phone distraction, similar to what Ms. Garcia and Mr. Plonka were saying. Thus, the Commons was born. The Commons cell phone management app automatically blocks distracting apps from the students' devices as they enter campus, but they can still call, text, and use medical and academic tools. So here's a little bit into the weeds. If you have questions about how this works, we really want to show it to you. And if you have further questions afterward, we can answer those as well. But once your student downloads and activates the app, there's nothing extra they need to do. When they step onto campus, the Commons uses a geofence technology which is Apple and Google's built-in tool for recognizing if a device is inside or outside of a location. So we use the geofence to go around your campus. As soon as they arrive, the app automatically activates and distracting applications are blocked. When they leave school, it deactivates and they step outside of the geofence and their phone goes back to normal. Next week, we are releasing an app update to actually ensure that this works more reliably, and I'll get into that in a couple slides here. Our app uses a VPN. Unlike parental control VPNs, ours doesn't log or track browsing history, messages, or personal content, and it can't build a browsing history. It simply checks, is the app or site allowed during school hours? If not, that site's blocked, and once the student leaves campus, our VPN shuts off so they can use their phone back to normal again. Apple and Google strictly regulate VPNs and apps designed for schools, and the Commons has been reviewed and approved under those rules and guidelines, as well as state and federal guidelines as well. That's also why the app requires location permission to be set to always on. This doesn't mean GPS tracking. We never see or store a student's exact location. Apple and Google require this setting so the geofence can work reliably, and those signals stay on the device. They're never stored or transmitted to us, and neither we or the school never have access to the student's location history. This design is intentional, privacy first, and built around behavioral science to make the right choice the easy choice. This is where we're really different from consumer apps. TikTok, Instagram, Life 360, and even many other parental control apps are designed to collect and store data, logging GPS details, browsing history, messages, and they often share and sell this data. They aren't required to follow the strict student privacy standards that all schools must meet, including the Commons. We comply with FERPA, COPA, and every state level student privacy law. That means no continuous GPS or location history and tracking, no content monitoring. We can't see texts, searches, or messages, and no data monetization. We don't do ads or selling. Every release goes through Apple and Google's review process to confirm that our geofence and VPN use meets their standards for the app built for children and education. Unlike tools that were adapted from consumer products, the Commons was built from the ground up for schools and students. That's why we're pursuing a patent, because this approach is different. At the end of the day, we know trust matters. Other apps have broken that trust with families, and our commitment is the opposite: to protect privacy, to be transparent, and help students build healthy tech habits that last well beyond school. And this is the last slide I have, but if your student was experiencing any issues specifically around our deactivation while in the school ground or off it, our new app upgrade that's coming out later next week, 1.1.4, will ensure that this is more accurate and consistent, specifically around the deactivation. If your student has been experiencing these issues, please have them upgrade later next week when this newest version is available. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. I would like to just go back a couple of slides because I really want to translate for the parents here and the parents that are watching really briefly of just put a visual and explain it to them of what it is in Spanish so that they understand it a little bit better. And I know I'm going to give them a whole like thing to read on their own, but I just want to, I want them to see this part, right? So, voy a hablar en español para darles un resumen de lo que es la aplicación y cómo funciona. Básicamente, hay un parámetro en la escuela que es un parámetro invisible. Ese parámetro, cuando los estudiantes entran se llama el geofence. Cuando los estudiantes entran a la escuela, dentro del parámetro, automáticamente el VPN se activa y está quitando el acceso a las aplicaciones o al internet, ¿ok? Más sin embargo, no tiene acceso a los datos del teléfono, no tiene acceso, es como ponerle en modo avión. Cuando ya ve que cuando va viajando y tiene que ponerlo en modo avión, es algo esencialmente igual. En cuanto entran, el teléfono automáticamente se vuelve en modo avión, donde ya no pueden acceder al internet, ¿ok? Cuando tampoco los rastrea, porque cuando descargan la aplicación les piden que admitan que localice el VPN y otras dos cosas que accedan para que la aplicación funcione en cuanto entran dentro de la escuela. ¿Ok? Más sin embargo, no los puede rastrear. Por ejemplo, si van a casa, no puede rastrear en dónde están, no pueden rastrear lo que buscan en su internet, no tienen acceso a nada de eso. Lo único que hace es que bloquea el internet en cuanto entran dentro de esa zona, para que no puedan acceder a las aplicaciones adictivas o al internet. Sí pueden hacer llamadas, sí pueden mandar mensajes. Can you go to the last slide?
Ujú.
Y lo último que vamos a decir es, cuando los estudiantes empezaron a descargar la aplicación, empezaron a tener un poquito de dificultades. Por ejemplo, no se apagaba la aplicación cuando iban a casa, pero ya han hecho una nueva versión que ellos pueden descargar la próxima semana para que esos pequeños dificultades ya no existan. ¿Ok?
Okay.
Ok.
Awesome. Anything else before I stop sharing my screen?
No, that was all I wanted to share.
Okay. Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is we're super excited about launching the Commons this year, and that MSA1 has been an amazing partner through all of this. And our onboarding and our technology is only getting better. Your students and your school leaders here are getting to put their fingerprints all over how we create and manifest our app for the future for other schools to use. So really appreciate the partnership and just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Julie.